All right, can you guys hear me now? I think that was really loud. You guys should be able to hear me now. Can you guys hear me all right? What's up, Trading with Manners? Papa. What's up? Can't hear on TikTok. Yeah. We should be good to go. All right. All right, if you guys are just dropping in on TikTok, if you guys don't mind, leave a like. It's super important. Um, all right, guys. So let's go ahead and go over our news really quick. Couple headlines, and well, we're not going to call it news because Manny's here, but we're going to go ahead and go over some headlines here. So just to recap, our yeah, we'll get that to them in a minute, but so let's August 7th. Yes. Okay, perfect. So last week we saw stocks cooling off. Most indexes closing marginally higher. So we did see the S&P up 0.36%. We saw the Nasdaq up 2.15%, the Russell 1.94%, and the Dow Jones down 0.13%. So we got Friday's non-farm payrolls destroyed expectations, showing the labor market strength and making the Fed's job fighting inflation much harder. So it may be a good news is bad news type environment again, as what is good for the economy may not be good for stocks. Retail favorites Beyond Meat and AMC reported earnings this week, and despite not great news, so despite not great news from the companies themselves, many of the stocks enjoyed massive short squeezes. Regardless of the environment, there is something crazy going on in the markets. There's this week is a little known Chinese company, AMT Digital Incorporated, which was listed at the US in mid-July, momentarily racing to a valuation well over 400 billion, which made it more valuable than 480 companies in the S&P 500. I'm not going to go over crypto. Other than that, guys, we have some key economic data to look for. If you guys are on TikTok, remember you guys can hop on YouTube. We've got our economic calendar here. So we'll go through the 9th through the 12th. So most importantly, 8:30 U.S. farm roll unit labor cost slash productivity. We got the IBD tip in economic optimism at 10 p.m. China inflation rate at 9:30 p.m. And then we have U.S. inflation rate 8:10. 8:30 wholesale inventories, EAI energy inventories, and then the next day U.S. inflation rate, initial and continuing jobless claims. So those are going to be pretty big data points to watch for going in towards the end of the week. Sorry, YouTube. Right here, core PPI, all coming in on the 11th. Those are high impact trading data, so we can expect some volatility off of that. Your U.S. import and export prices and Michigan's consumer sentiment all coming in towards the end of the week as well. The fact that good economic news could be bad for stock weirds me out. It's been like that before. So before we move forward, let's take a look at some earnings. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to try and be live in the Discord only for PLTR earnings. So if you guys are Discord members, you guys are more than welcome to hop on members channel. So again, reminder this week, if I am in the Discord and not streaming day trading on TikTok and YouTube, you all are allowed to unmute yourself, ask questions, ask about positions, whatever the case may be. But please feel free to do so. It's been really great for everybody. A lot of the questions that one person has, 10 people have, but just aren't going to ask it, or didn't even know they had it. So let's get it, dude. Put it on a cracker. So we've got PLTR earnings coming out. Gevo, Mara, Clove, E-Dry, Turtle Beach, all coming out tomorrow. PLTR is before the bell. We've got, I don't know what the Millie Rock right there for is for, but Roblox, the 9th, we've got Roblox, Mankind, Clean Spark, Workhorse, Max R, longtime favorite there. Plug Power, which has been on a run here. Coin as well. Is this right? Yeah, okay, this is right. For some reason, tripping. Disney coming in on Wednesday. Jamia, Watt, ADMA, Matterport, Copang, a couple of big names there. And then we start to slow down a little bit. We see Rivian, Funware, Novan, and really some of the names, Boxlight, kind of fade out there going in towards the end of the week. Going into next week, guys, we do have like 1,100 companies reporting on Friday, which is a lot of smaller companies, Neo and stuff like that. But the earnings volatility is set to decrease. Okay, so this is the last week of our big earnings. So look for some volatility in these stocks. So familiar with SMC, was wondering if you've tried it with stocks. Is that a strategy? I think I've heard of that, but you might have to refresh me. All right, so other than that, if you guys have requests, you guys can go ahead and drop those. Please, no repeats on YouTube. But I'm going to go ahead and go over my watch list. So you guys know the deal. Nothing's changed. Nothing changes. So we're going to be watching Meta. All right. So the way that we closed yesterday, super duper awesome move to the downside. We did trade again. We had like 300% plays on Meta, over 100% multiple times. I scalped this thing up, down, all around. It was a good time. But going into tomorrow, so we like to set these zones. We talk about it all the time, and we can go ahead and find ourselves right below that 167.63. So the 9-day moving average is creeping around at 168.14. I will be looking for a possible retest as high as 168.14. But if we continue to the downside, one thing that we can also look at here is the fact that we are currently basically sitting on top of a dynamic trend line. Okay, so the possibility, and one of the reasons that I exited the one-sided trade on Meta and ended up kind of going into a cheap straddle with all those profits that we made from Meta was for this reason alone, because I feel like we might end up opening slightly lower or possibly even just flat. That being said, there is a possible move. We have 1, 2, you guys know the magic number, 3 off of the top. So possibly be looking for a pop up above 168. Key level above that is 169.30. And then the next level would be 171.20 to the upside. If you step down to the 15-minute really quickly, if you guys have any requests here on TikTok, go ahead and hop in the YouTube channel. We're there right now. So again, right, little dynamic charting here for you. Pop, and then from the highs, pop. So you do have a bit of a channel, right? 3 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we either break this trend in pre-market, okay, and this is the retest of 166.75, and then we short from there, and then add underneath 164.77, looking for this gap to fill 160.50. If we can find that move, that'll be the downside trade. To the upside, again, we're going to be looking for a move above 168. So I'm marking this all out on my chart right here, and 168.90. That's right around that median, and then a move up to resistance. So your charts behind you, bro. Show charts behind you. I can't. I'm on YouTube right now, though. Like, all you have to do is just hop on there, and then you can still see me, which is not vital to this at all. But here I am, and or you can just look at the chart. So it's going to be way easier than if I was to turn my thing. Tesla, Tesla Bro, I will. I just called you Tesla. All right, so the next one that we have on the watch list. So I got to keep Tesla on the watch. This one was stupid money. If you guys followed the levels that I dropped in the pre-market, these were money across the board. It was really fun to trade. We had we took $50 straddles. So I spent more than $50 for sure, but I put $50 contracts on either side, bought a bunch of them, $50 outside of the money. I think it was a 900 and a 850, and ended up closing out those 850s for like 300+%. And then the calls, obviously, what's that little chunk of change to the big gain that you get? So Tesla did take a beating. So let's take a look at Tesla as far as where we're going to be watching this one. So before I even say anything, I know a lot of you guys who've been charting with me already know what I'm about to say, because you see it and I see it. We both see it. So Tesla basically bounced right off of 855.77. Been screaming that price target all week for a pullback, right? We also have what's going on, everybody? If you guys are on hopping on YouTube, make sure to drop a like if you guys can. So remember, we could see a move to the upside off of this dynamic trend line. What is one of the things that I look for when I'm going to take a trade? I'm looking for a series of confluences that basically back up a support. And this is what we have here at 855. We have a dynamic trend line. We've got a beautiful zone underneath us that we dropped to. And so for Tesla, it needs to make a move under 838.80, and it will likely go to bounce at 825. Okay, so 825 and 838, or let's call it 840. Okay, but it's obviously we know it's not a singular line, but right here at that median and then the floor below that, I think that you could target a gap fill around 775, possibly even. Okay, and this is only to the downside, right? I'm just giving you the downside trade. I'm not telling you it's going to go down. I'm showing you what to look for if it does, how to identify the reversal, and where sellers are more than likely going to step up. So right here, nice trend line. We need to get below it. End of story. To the upside, you've got a gap to target at 923.55. And what do we have here at the top? One. Let's go ahead and move this up. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So we either bounce or we break. And if we break, watch for the gap fill and watch for a pop up to 950 going into this week. So I don't know why I'm using my hand so much. I scalped that little morning rise before tanking. Yeah, we were live. Orange cookies, thanks for the donut, my friend. But yeah, I guess I should move over a little bit. There you go. All right, so like get it. I keep reading that comment. All right, if you guys on YouTube will please go ahead and just drop a like if you guys don't mind. It helps the page hit the stream or hit the front page, but if not, I'll hit you with an ad. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, nice trend line right here. Watch for Tesla above 880. Okay, so we know where our zones are. Let's go ahead and mark these levels to the upside. So basically, back up above 885 and 8. It's 898 or 895, and then look for a gap fill and a push up to 836.25, and that would be off of a squeeze. So I need to write that down. What's up? If you guys are on TikTok, remember I'm on YouTube right now, taking requests. All right, last one for the watch list tomorrow is Baba. So if you guys caught the swing trade, if you guys are literally just in the Discord for free, my channel, PotterStocks, is free. I signaled this for free. You can guys go look at the gains page. There's people with no membership who made money on this trade. This was a beautiful completion of the rising wedge. I took a swing trade on it. So we swung, day traded, and scalped. And Baba was our swing trade. So this one went for, again, we love these key levels. We love these zones. They help us track where reversals are likely to occur. And so for right now, I see Baba showing the 94.18 resistance. It does appear, okay, and right now there's a lot of volatility concerned with Chinese stocks. It does appear that it tried to go and break to the downside, or to the upside, excuse me. So take a look at that. It's a bit of a wedge. This is a reversal pattern. 93.18 candle close. You're more than likely going to test 94.20. And that's where sellers either A, step up, or you start to move into the gap. And I would watch for the first target to be 95.35, which is a psychological number. And then above that, you've got 96.18 and 96.42. I have not looked at SPY. I'm about to take requests though, right now. Damn. Parched. Let's see here. All right. So, yeah, that's it for my watch list this week. If you guys have requests, go ahead and slap those in there. Before you go ahead and drop SPY or QQQ, we're going to go ahead and chart those prematurely. So, first things first, we've got weird little setup here on SPY. So you guys know what this is. This is a bit of a wedge. This can still completely push to the upside, but at the moment, All right. And again, where futures open up matters. It matters a lot. And I need to see what happens right now. I'm not tracking, but it looks like we're still holding that little bear flag. This is more, or excuse me, this is more bearish to me, but if this is one of those patterns that if it does push up and out, you're going to see these shorts get squeezed and you'll see a move back up to 41.70. So with SPY, right, same thing goes. If you see a break or a gap down to 411.78, be careful because watch for a pop back up, a move above 414.50. And I would say at that point, looking at this dynamic trend line, the next support, or excuse me, resistance for SPY, and this is backed up by this wick, right? So similar to the previous exchanges that we've seen. What is this? Okay. How do I pick price targets? With using a series of confluences, right? So I'm sure if I was to go pull up my whole ribbon indicator or one of my moving averages, it would likely be in line with that area. So what I see is the 417.50 area if we do breaks. If you're looking for that target, right? You don't want to get in at this break. That's where sellers are going to try and step up. You're going to have a difficult time. So maybe consider trying to get the first initial gap fill and add over the 414.65. That is what I'm probably going to be doing if we do move to the upside. To the downside, it is very clear to me where I want to short. So there's like just a micro gap here, but 409.50 and 410. So the loss of 410, I would anticipate a move down to 408. 408 on the dot, right there. Wick, if you do fall any further than that, and you have broken this dynamic trend line, then more than likely we would see a move down to 406.85. So, and then as far as where we're at on the daily, right? So upside, right? You see a little move up to that move up to that level, and then to the downside, you see the 9-day moving average creeping right at 408. Okay, so both we are in a strong. So those of you who are trend traders, remember, if you're a trend trader or if you're a range trader, know where you're at on the chart and know where you're going to possibly go from either side, up or down. So, all right. If you guys have any requests, guys, I see you in NVIDIA. If you guys are dropping a request, I'm gonna if you have any request, drop them on the YouTube so that way the comments stay where I can see them. So all right, so same thing with the Qs. All right. I'm not really looking for much different here. So again, with the extension into the channel. So with the Qs, again, depending on where we gap up, that's ultimately most important. You can see a little baby downtrend here that was broken at the end of the day. Watch for a move up to 325. Based on this dynamic trend line, just like SPY, we could see a squeeze in, because remember, how would a squeeze occur? A squeeze would occur if buyers, remember all the sellers that happened last week, all that selling pressure that you saw? If all that is rushed up with buyers at the bell, you can anticipate a possible squeeze. That just means that it doesn't always have to be margin calls, right? It oftentimes could just be people getting stop losses, hitting, their TP or their stop loss area and having to go ahead and push that stock to the upside. So calls look set for tomorrow, but we will watch. Key levels speak. QQQ below 318.50. I'm targeting this gap fill here to 315.30. Simple as that. So I'm actually going to set in a little bit of a little alert here. But anyway, that's it. That's QQQ. If you guys have requests on YouTube, go ahead. We're going to start off with MU. I believe I already have this one charted up. I do. And hot damn, did they smoke some people. So check this out. We've got earnings already. All right. We would expected probably a little bit of a better move, but you did end up gapping down. All right. MU, Micron, where are they out of? Hold on 1 second. Where is Micron based? In Idaho? Ew. Okay. Cool. All right. So this one gapped down to support. Simple as that. You bounced. So take a look right here. Candle close. On this mark, you've got a gap to the upside. This is a bearish pattern. It is the most obvious bearish pattern I've seen in a minute. So that probably means it's going to move to the upside. Because when everybody sees it, and you see those setups stacked to one side, a lot of times that's what will end up happening. Now, I'm not going to put too many eggs in one basket and say that's a 100% thing, but you did fall below your dynamic broken trend line. So when you broke to the upside and broke that downtrend, you actually gapped down underneath it. You've got a bear flag here. So it's going to be essential to see above $63, a break above 63.50 for a proper gap fill back up to $65. And then from there, you could see a threat of a squeeze. So again, there is a untouched supply above you. And a lot of times you don't go anywhere until you fully retest supply, and that supply doesn't come till $66. So watch for that. That could be a good small account play. To the downside on MU, the cool thing is you're sitting right here at the support. That's 61.80. You do have this little 62.25 that you finished up above. So below 61.70, I would look for a move down to the $61 level, and right here is 61.8 or 60.85. That would be the first level to watch for to the downside. But ultimately, if we did end up breaking to the downside, it would be $60, which you guys can see right here is a major level, psychological level across the board. So watch for $60. Won't fall hard till after midterms, in my opinion. Lots of calls. This guy don't have a clue. Paper trader. Where'd you get that information? You must have not been present for the last 2 years. We forgive you for your ignorance. All right. So next one that we got is TSM. I believe I did this one as well. So TSM had a broken downtrend here on this lower time frame. Go to the daily, becomes a little bit more evident. You just had a simple supply break here. So you've curled back up, and you're currently going for a retest. Let's zoom back in. I think you closed at right around $90 after a retest. So 4 hour. Was SPY done yet? I just did SPY on YouTube, so you're more than welcome to hop on there and check that chart out. So again, we're gonna zone it out. So it appears that TSM has broken above its demand or out of its demand, right? There's a micro gap. Let's go look at the hourly now. Kind of zoom in a bit. Yeah, just a baby micro gap at 90.91, but the next target above you, which you actually are at 80.77, is just a bounce level. But the next target above you, if you can hold, now you did close with what looks to be a reversal as far as a bear flag is concerned. You closed on the 9-day moving average. So it's pretty simple. If you fall below 88.77, watch for a breakdown for MU. If you end up pushing past this rejection here, which is going to be tough, I'm not going to lie, just looking at the chart right now, because this is, again, right around supply. $91 is supply. $90 and $91. So like right now, it would take in my opinion, a great deal of pressure from TSM, excuse me, and the semiconductor. So right there, take a look at what you got going on there. So you're kind of in no man's land here. So it's kind of either or. You either A, break above $91, and then the next target's going to be right here at 92.50, or you fall back down off this broken trend line, and you end up falling below 80.50. So TSM, let's see which one's next. Young Mibby. I didn't see what said. JK, I love you. Let's see. He almost charted LFG. Like, let's fucking go. BNTX. So I actually have an earnings trade on BNTX. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this chart. This is actually really beautiful if you're learning. But this is just supply and demand at its most beautiful. So you've got a straight set, a straight range bound stock. at the moment with BNTX. So I'm not sure if we're going to get a break out of this range, but I did take a straddle on it just in case. Right now, to the upside, the nearest target is $200 and 215. I actually think I took a 205. I'll have to go look. Again, it was on my Gamble account, but 215, 213, right in that range. That's supply above you. And then below you, you don't have as much room because you have tested 120 already. So I would say 120 is a feasible target to watch for, but below 120, if they just tanked, it would actually be $81. So, but I'm just going to leave it at that, and we'll talk about it again after tomorrow. So I meant lots of chop, not calls. Yeah, the charts on YouTube. You know what? Here, let's just do this. If you guys don't mind, tap your screen if you guys are on here. The fuck did I just do? All right. I'm gonna turn the camera around. I don't like when people are at this angle. It's weird. All right, there you go. All right, so let's keep it moving. All right, so the next one we got is Cpgn, and you guys know how I feel about these stocks. So it looks like we got a broken downtrend. Hmm. Okay, so you're getting relatively close. This setup is a little wonky. Let's go down to the hourly. Actually, let's go to the. I'm actually going to go to the 2 hour on this one just to get a better idea of what setup we're looking at here. So from the lows, obvious trend here, obvious trend here. So maybe watch for CPGN to pull back to $18. Watch for a bounce and a run back up above 20 if you're looking for more upside with the first target level of 21.44. So right here, and I'll give you the reason why, of course, right there. Look, boing, 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 bop, boop. So right there, that's going to be the main target if you do end up breaking to the upside. Otherwise, if this trend line, if you do end up breaking below 1816, right, that same level I said watch for a bounce, then I would watch for a pullback off of what would be a really weird looking double top, but 1685. So below 1685, you could anticipate drop to 16 even. I already did Facebook and Baba. So if you guys are just tuning in, just go to the, I think it was about the 7-8 minute mark, and you'll see it there. So I'm about to come in with 4K starting this week. If you are brand new, okay, let me throw out something to think about. Okay, nobody is exempt from the lessons that the market has to teach. So you will lose money. And if you know that's going to be a thing, I'm just saying this because it reminded me. So if it doesn't apply to you, carry on. You are going to lose money. So the best thing that you can do, right, is to put, if you have 4K or if you have 10K, put 250 and just start looking for one high probability setup. I made money trading one stock. I have shown you guys for the last 3 months that you don't have to go and look around the market for what the best play is. You can be patient, wait, and watch, and be really good at one strategy and trade the shit out of 2 or 3 stocks and make a bag like we did. Right? I'm not a Tesla trader every day. It's always on the side watch. But Meta and Baba, which again, sometimes they give us trouble, but at the end of the day, we have stayed green because of those stocks. Can I do Roku? If you guys want to see clearly, it's going to be best to catch me out on Oh, catch me outside. How about that? No. Last thing here. This is a possible inverse head and shoulders. Very ugly shoulder, but shoulder nonetheless. Yeah, we'll look at it in a minute. All right, so we got AMD. We did that. I think we did AMD. Apple. I did do AMD. I don't know when. Okay, so I got a badass setup here on Apple. Don't you worry. It's of the highest probability. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so first of all, beautiful channel. So pretty. Okay, so let's zoom in and let's check out what's happening here on the lower time frame. All right, so it looks like we got a rising wedge. I already charted like half of these things. That's pretty badass. So 1, 2, 3, right? We either break, we either move to the downside, or we should see anywhere above. And I have this kind of charted out for you. There's a possibility for a head and shoulders, right? So if we drop, that's a head and shoulders possibility. I would see anywhere below 163.50. Strong candle close below 162.75. I would anticipate watching Apple to move to the 160 level. From there, you could see solid retest 163. We don't know. We're not trying to predict that far, but ultimately, I would expect for this trend line to be retested if you drop from here. So again, however that happens, whatever that looks like, that's what I would be anticipating. Otherwise, we see this lower time frame downtrend here. We're all cuddled up here. So above 166 and up to 166.75 and 166.80, I would be looking for a run up to it's right before 170. So it's 169.20. Now, why could that end up being something worth doing if you were an institution that sells premiums, right? Now we're getting awfully close to our downtrend, right? Apple's long downtrend here. But what is most important is that we're getting really, really close to the floor in which all-time highs bounced on, right? And that's where we're at. Look at that. So you could see it pop up into it, but ultimately I believe that this is where you would see major moves or a possible strong rejection off of this rising wedge, which again, doesn't have to work, but key levels are key levels and confluences are confluences. So watch for Apple below that 163.27 and then above that 166, possibly moving into the 169 area. And if you're somebody who sells premium, everybody and their mother is going to be buying the 170 strike. Most of the volume is at the 170 strike, and you're going to be able to slap those dudes down. All right, so dude, Rajav, this guy right here, has literally been just obsessingly watching me on here. And it's hilarious because I'm pretty sure most of the individuals here can vouch that we have something, we know what we're saying. I'm gonna go ahead and block you, dude, but whatever anger or frustration you feel inside, man, I hope you get that dealt with. I'm just here to help people. If you want that help, maybe you can reach out on a different account. But have a wonderful night, man. Bye-bye now. All right, there we go. All right, so I watch daily. Looks good to me. Baba Daily Teacup shows. I see a little bit of a wedge there. My bad. Ads. YouTube told me to do it. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so I only have 21 likes, and there's 50 people on YouTube right now. So that's all I ask. I'm just kidding. I appreciate you guys tuning in. It's awesome. All right, so let's go from here, and let's go ahead and look at plug. So I already have plug This one has earnings coming this week, so that's something to be mindful of. But right now, you have retested this major level. It's 2581. You've got a smaller key level above you, 2750, that you could end up moving to. You do have a on the hourly. You do have a gap below you with a. I'm not exactly sure if I charted this one earlier, but looks like a potential rising wedge. But of course, we let the key levels talk, and the key level for me is right here at 24.25. After that small gap fill, you could see a pullback to 23.26. Ultimately, before earnings, I don't really like to do much price action prediction because it's just not good practice. But bugs up, so. Ramen it is. Oh no. Chart in a video or I'm gonna make ramen. I'll chart in a video. Are you say? Oh, you mean like you're gonna be living on ramen? All right. So sad news here in the area of supply and demand. So check this out, guys. We talk about this all the time. We are range bound. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure if we're going to stay in range, but here we are. So let's take a look at the hourly. We just broke up into this area. We do have a dynamic trend line that we are watching to the downside or to the upside, excuse me, which would possibly send us up in this channel. We've got this bad boy, which is just another little dynamic trend line that we're watching. But ultimately, the key level right now for NVIDIA, and I need to fix that. There we go. Okay, so right now the key level confluence is at 196.27, 196.27. That is where I will be watching for NVIDIA to move to the upside to if we do bundle up, because we're kind of bear flagging here a little bit. But if we do end up popping to the upside, I would watch that 196 level. To the downside, it already looks like you've got 186.60 and a trend line sitting at 184. Below 184 and below 181.33, I would anticipate a possible pullback. Bouncing on the 180 level, obviously a psychological number, but so my goal as a bull would be to maintain and hold the 181 level and to push the stock up to tomorrow or next week into the 193.50 and then possibly touching that 196.20. So looks good though. You did break your downtrend. That's one thing to note. I don't know what the hell this line's doing way the hell out there for no reason. All right. Well, regardless of this trend line, just remember that this is your bullish trend. So if you break anywhere above 196 or further, you've got basically $200 to watch for. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Just one request at a time, guys. So. All right, so the next one you got is WTRH Waiter Holdings. I see why you want me to chart it because it ripped. So I'm going to give you just one thing that I like to tell people who ask me to chart stocks that are squeezing or anything like that. My chart's not going to really help. You do have what appears maybe a little wedge action here. There's no telling. Let's go to the daily. Good heavens. Good God. What happened here? Looks like you broke your downtrend. I mean, that's the best thing I can say right here. You bounced off of IPO support, which is 48 cents. So maybe watch for a little run from here. I would say a run up to 55, 56 cents is possible. But at the moment, if you build this wedge out. So if you see a rejection and a pullback to 37 cents, I only see two off the top. So you might see another pop up to 55, like I said. And then ultimately maybe falling back down. But right now, I think they have earnings tomorrow. Yeah, they have earnings tomorrow, so I have nothing else to say. INTC. Great Scott. All right, so this trend is maybe broken. Um, I'm pretty sure that's broken. Yeah, so you basically broke support. You had a little bit of consolidation underneath it, as you can see right here. You kind of consolidated a little channel action for INTC. This one broke back up, earnings hit, you dropped below it. So ultimately, I think you have a pretty clear. So sellers are trying to keep INTC down below 36.85. So above that wick 37.75, possible move to the 38.90 and gap filling at 39.50. Otherwise, you need to step back out to the daily and go look where exactly your nearest support is. And that would be, you've got 34.48. But the strongest support that I see here is going to be 33.50. So you should and more than likely would see INTC dropping to 33.50. So, all right. So we got CCL right here, baby. This one has a mean little looking triangle here at the to the downside. So you broke your trend line just like INTC, and you were consolidating underneath it. It looks like this downtrend right here. You've retested once, so there's a possibility to retest it again. That's 1060. But ultimately, oof, and this thing just looks so bad. CCL is a dying company. I feel like this company is going out of business personally, but I feel like they're just trying to like they used all the money that they've gotten to just try and make it look like it's not that bad. But so ultimately, maybe run up 1065. But I would anticipate if you do see a rejection there, I would look for a pullback to this support 844. So that's Carnival. But anywhere above 1112, possibly see you would actually need 1165. 1165 would be a suitable area to see a reversal. So let's see here. Mara? Stock Hunter. Did I do AMD? I don't know if you're still here, but no, I didn't do Roblox. I'll do Roblox soon. We'll hop off here at about 9:15, 9:05 Eastern time. So our stream. So again, let me remind you guys tomorrow. Um, if you guys, I almost forgot what I was about to. I was about to need to be reminded myself. If you guys are in the Discord, I don't know of a lot of other Discords that do this that are paid, but you guys, if we are not YouTube streaming, we will be in the members channel, and you can, after the news and all that good stuff, you guys can go ahead and unmute yourself if you have questions while we're trading. So while things are happening, you can ask me if I can look at something. I can ADHD and take a look at it. So all right, so let's look at this guy, Mara. Mara has earnings, so anytime somebody asks me about a stock that has earnings, I'm going to give you targets, right? Because that's the only thing that you need to be really paying attention to, because more than likely, if you see any type of moves, it's going to be to your nearest supply. That's 1950. If not, the next one or the drop that you could see, and I say Mara. So the lowest I can see Mara is back down to $6. I imagine they're probably going to be posting some serious losses, given, well, Bitcoin, I guess, has recovered a bit, but given the losses, there's a possibility, to see a potential move above, or below, excuse me, and drop back down to that supply. But the nearest level to watch is $8.60, and then ultimately that $6 mark to the upside. Yeah, all I see is 1950, $20. So, Roblox. All right, so Roblox broke its channel to the upside, so we don't need that. Hmm. Interesting. Okay, so there looks like there's a little. I'm just checking this trend line here. So it does look like yeah, that broke above it. So you did a break, guys. This zone that you see on Roblox, that's the 50-60 area. This one does look like it has like I did bounce out of the double bottom here, but it looks like a possible inverse head and shoulders. And there's a lot of speculative stocks that look a bit like this. There's that shoulder, there's the head, and so you're getting to that place where you could see the initial rejection. That may be 53.35. 53.35. So if you see a strong move, because what Roblox likes to do is it'll usually either A, pull back, and you guys can see right here, you tap, tap, and then break. So tap, tap, and then break again. So you're probably going to see similar price action going into this week, but then lower time frame trend line starting from the most recent lows has Roblox's support around 48.80. GFS. What's up, Mako Mike? F Baba. All right, GFS. Somehow and for some reason, I have this one charted already. So there's that. I want to check something really quick. I don't know about that. That looks ugly. That's too far away. That's the trend line. That's the falling wedge. So right now you've got a bull flag here on the daily. Buyers are holding up the 51.31 support. Any pullbacks below that would likely send you down to 49.47, just a hair below 50, maybe even touching 49 bucks. But ultimately, and I'll mark these out, sorry. So you guys can see how that level is relevant. Boing, 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 bam, bop. So that would be the first level to pull back to underneath that 51.50. To the upside, you've got strong sellers at 55 or 54.66, and of course, in this zone of $57 and 58.60. So right now, let's step down to the hourly and let's see what the setup is. What happened to my lo-fi? That's one way to drop a song. Song's mad calm too. All right. So sorry, I was just having to change that really quick. There we go. So it looks like you got that bull flag is pretty much confirmed. I would say on an even lower time frame, there's your tiny little support. So watch for a move below 52.35. Look at that, guys. So below here, watch it drop down to $50.60, just like I said. Yes, I believe I did do AMD. Did I do AMD? I did. Did I? Yeah, I did. I think. I don't remember. I've done so many tickers now. Like this is from TikTok earlier. You guys can't see it on TikTok, but you know, we'd be charting. All right. All right. If you guys are on YouTube, go ahead. What else? If you haven't had any of your charts done, may have missed it, skipped it. But I'm gonna move over to CVNA, Carvana, Cat. Um, yeah, in the YouTube channel. We're on YouTube right now. I'm reading those comments. Okay. Okay. All right, Carvana. What? Liberty, are you telling me to like do that as a career or as like I need to find a way to invest in it and then chart it? Oh, it's too late to JK about that, buddy. I'm just kidding. All right, so first of all, Carvana, Jesus. Stupid squeeze. I believe they sucked on earnings. Dude, fuck, man. I told, ugh. If you guys ever are going to play earnings, come ask me where the targets are. At least like, because I had a couple people ask me about Carvana, and I told them I was like $50. I would take $50 calls, and I would take like or excuse me, like $10 puts. But more than likely, a stock that has done that is going to squeeze, guys, because everybody's already shorted it. Where the fuck is it gonna go? Where does it go from there, right? At that point, no one, they already know it's a shit company. So a lot of the times you see a squeeze in the opposite direction because a lot of people pile in. So I just sold $100 worth of Carvana. Oh, that's dope. When is a descending triangle bullish? When did I say that? Oh, when is it? When it doesn't work and bounces up and out. That's why we use key levels. So to be honest with you, it's squeezed. I see $55 at the most for Carvana, unless something ungodly happens, because the only downtrend that I have for it right now is all the way up at $118. I just don't see that happening. So hi, I just joined your team. What do you call your plays? So I live trade almost every single day. And then in PotterStocks. So one of the things that I do, and this is the goal of the Discord, is we're not just a signals chat. All right. That is the main, we're not. Like that is not what we want people to do. We want people to leave. And for good reasons. We want people to understand why we are doing what we're doing in real time. We found through members channel that answering questions and helping people understand in real time is far more beneficial. And even just being able to trade live is far more beneficial than me just signaling. And the unfortunate thing is I have to, if I'm on YouTube and all these other things and all these other places, I don't have time to type these out. So not everything that I enter is going to be in my Discord. But my channel is free. If you just joined and you're looking for swing trades, you can go with Top Shelf, who's been doing this for like 30 years. You've got Manny and Astro and Spread Sniper and Big Stepper, all doing most of the scalping. I'm doing a lot of day trading. You got Plunger with like stupid YOLOs. The list goes on. Yazer just slaps Amazon and pennies and Spy. So we got a ton of top traders who help. Cave Bear, Faith, and Faith Sower. Sorry, but yeah, there's a lot of places. Just I'm actually now that we're moved over price mark wise, I'm actually going to work on that YouTube video this week. So, all right, how do I know if a stock is going to stop or go past a key level and stop at another one? So you have to feel out the sentiment, John. But most importantly is evaluating volume and price action. Right? What is the catalyst? Why is it going? And with the volume that it is currently showing, where can it go from there? And usually when you hit that resistance, you are looking for selling pressure to identify where buyers are at in the process. So if buyers are strong, then you're going to see weak selling candles. If your buyers are weak, or our buyers are weak, you're going to see a reversal candle, and a lot of the times that will send it back down to the downside. So, all right, let's take a look at Disney. Hey, yo. All right, I'm just going to tell you guys right now, I have not looked at this stock in a hot minute. It's been a minute. Damn. What did I say? Break above 98.25, long $100. Damn, that shit tapped $100 and then just dumped. Or didn't dump, it just stopped. Damn. Gap fill. Oh my god, look at the candle close at the gap fill, 103. That's pretty. All right, so like most stocks, Disney fell. This one does have, just like everything else in the market, it's got this little crazy looking downtrend and a build on top of support, which comes from there. And there. So right now, Disney is basically below. You see 104.50, and then also this 104, yeah, 104.05. So this little 50-cent range on Disney would be a downside indicator. To the upside, you have a gap to fill at 106 or 108.05. Above that, right? If you do end up pushing and holding here, I would anticipate a move up to 111, hitting the top of your channel. So that's Disney at the moment. So let me. Ooh, I was wrong. So let's. How do we pick plays? How do we find price targets? Confluences. That is one of the first things that I'm looking for, guys, because at some point it's like an auction. If buyers don't want it here and sellers push down, or if again right here where we see this key level, right? We closed up on top of that. So if buyers continue to hold this level, that's obviously bullish. We've got the 50% mark here. That's where you bounced off of. So what we can do is say, okay, if buyers hold this 106.37 level, that's still bullish. It's more than likely at some point to go back up. If they fail to hold the level that they pushed this stock past, then more than likely sellers will step up. 105.30 will get hit. And then from there, I would anticipate a move down to A, gap fill, but B, this level of 104.12, which is in confluence, right? Because we could see that by the 8th, at the end of the day, we could see 104. But of course, hold on one second. Okay, so same theory, but just move up the confluence. So I was a little bit wrong. I had to just change. I think I was getting confirmation bias there. So 105.40. 105.40. So watch for a pullback underneath 105.40, and that would lead you down to 104.15. So, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over PayPal, and we're gonna go ahead and hop off from there. So, where do you look for the candle that you evaluate? Can it be a minute candle or more? So, a lot of the times, John, candle closes are more important than anything else. I want to see a strong candle close like here, right? A strong candle close there. And then a lot of the times, you can just play it up to the median, which you see happens there. Of course, at the median, rejections can happen. This is good for day trading, right? These zones, but you don't always want to swing through it. This is a weak volume roll up into earnings. So I actually had like a little bit of a channel rising wedge here. But I already have this charted out and it's perfect. So this is the level you're holding. That's 94.75. If you lose the 94.50, 94.75 level, you will drop down to 94.90 or 92.90, excuse me, 92.75. That is a major level for PayPal. It does appear that it could start building some sort of wedge. A lot of the times you'll see the start of a wedge kind of end up starting like this. So you can see a little bit of a retest pop to 96.65 and then another pullback down. If you do hit this for 3 times, I would anticipate PayPal moving down to that 92.50 mark. See 4-hour candles. So 4-hour candles, again, if you're bullish, you want to hold $95 and squeeze up and above 98.10 if you want to see PayPal move and retest $100. So other than that, you do have a little bit of a gap up there that you could target if you do break above the previous high right here at 101 or the open, excuse me, and then run back up to 103.80. And then you have another gap to see there as well. So. You're right, I didn't get it. Okay, so Overstock, this is one that I've been working or I worked on with my mentors. So right now you've got a build underneath this trend line, right? Anywhere below Overstock's 27.45, I would anticipate a pullback to $25. So right there, oops. So anywhere below that, I would move down to the $25 level. You have already hit resistance 4 times. It's either A, time to break, or time to die. So you need to move above $30, and then at there, I would set a price target of 31.30 and 32.70. So I did Baba already. It's on YouTube at the beginning when I did my watch list. So. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, we will be live tomorrow morning on YouTube. And we will be live on TikTok around 9 o'clock to go over the news and the watch list. If you guys are in the Discord, I'm going to try and be on bright and early for earnings. You guys can chat it up with me. Unmute yourselves. So if you guys are on there, if you guys are looking to sign up on SimpleStacks, it's simplestacksinvestments.com. And you guys can, we don't have the free trials yet towards the, we're going to go ahead and start free trials on 8/15 and carry on from there. But at the moment, just for processing purposes, we're not doing that quite yet. So otherwise, thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you're new, don't pay for our services. Please, God, wait. There's too much education out there in our Discord in the free part. You don't need to pay. So, all right, guys. Peace.